Damn. What's up, guys? It's your boy GRC. I got my background music on, unfortunately, because I have 6 tabs open. So there we go. We have a good one today. Me and Sam actually did a little strategizing beforehand because this topic's kind of important for actual safety. You know, we joke around. When we're learning stuff, guys. We're not recreating the wheel. But with this stuff, with Sam's experience and mine combined, we're pretty much can tell you exactly how to avoid this kind of situation, because let's be honest, Sam, it's clear cut. It's not a puzzle, guys. It's marketing. They want to ruin you. They want to make as much money as they physically possibly can, and they want to detach from it as fast as they can so they can go home and fall asleep at night, because that's the only way I would be able to do it. I would have to get to bed, fucking drink a little alcohol just to feel like, I hope there's not some kid that's really losing it all. Maybe these people don't think like that. I don't fucking know. Excuse my language. Darn it. But so we want to teach you where, and it's not financial advice by any means, but there's some places that you put your money where you no longer have custodian of. You're not the custodian of your money anymore. And that's the problem, because the people don't know. People think they click on a website and it's backed by Jesus and the whole entire government and everything. No, it's backed by a couple of nerds that are talking behind the scenes that have way more money than you. And they're looking to extract value quick if the whole thing goes to zero, because they're no longer making money when it goes to zero. And that they're profit monkeys. Guys, Bullish is not in here because he's catching them all right now, and he's doing the service, a public service at this moment, catching Pokemon in Central. Well, I don't want to say where he is, but he's Pokemon hunting. We have Sam in the back. We're excited. We want to learn about all these things so we can avoid it for the rest of our lives. Me and Sam are not saying we're invincible from anything. I luckily have never used one of these dumb shit fucking DeFi protocol. Fake DeFi protocols, because frankly, I started listening to Richard, and he sounded way smarter when he was saying to keep your money in your own wallet, and that resonated with me. I was like, that kind of makes sense. Guys, we have DeFi Proof. Remember, you always want to shout out DeFi Proof. He's going to be coming out with so much heat. We have the golf tournament coming up, dude. I'm all tied into this whole community now. It's so cool. I got lots of shit going on. I'm going out to the golf tournament. They're flying me out. I'm covering it for KSB TV. So that's going to be really fun. And we're going to be talking about crypto today and why all these guys need to really, if any of them lay their eyes on the show for any reason, I really hope they just look in the mirror and just say, why don't we just try to make the world a better place? We all have enough money. So guys, DeFi Proof, baby.
You already know what time it is.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
We're gonna take notes.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
We're gonna take notes.
Smoking a blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some hacks and I'm making a stake. Got me some heads on, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. Jim Reddit sent me to show you the way.
DeFi Proof.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
We're gonna take notes.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
We're gonna take notes. DeFi.
Oh. What's good, dude? What's good? How you doing, brother? I'm doing fantastic. Oh, my mic.
This morning's gonna be interesting. We have a lot of centralized crap that is in the toilet, right? We've got Coinflex, we've got BlockFi, we got Celsius, we've got Voyager, and you're like, damn, wait, is he gonna stop talking or is he gonna continue going? We still have more. There's OneCoin. I only wrote down.
Well, OneCoin never actually exists. I'm pretty sure.
Just rip people off. This is
total scam.
Yes.
To the point where they couldn't even consider it a crypto.
Total scam, right? There's so many of these things taking place,
and
right
with
now
each one of those, there's brand ambassadors. And what do we know about? Why don't I have a million brands sitting behind me of meme coins or whatever? Like anyone could. It doesn't matter how many subs you have. People DM you about all sorts of crap. Because my reputation's more important to me than making money at this moment. And they stop having that value proposition at some point. They stop caring for whatever reason, whether they got kids, whether they got money. Hey, I'm not judging. I don't give a shit. But I don't like fucking getting young kids to lose all their shit.
We're gonna get into the Meet Kevin interview a little bit later, or just talk about it briefly. But I didn't have any context of Richard Hart, but I actually knew who Meet Kevin was because he used to be big into real estate, and every once in a while I'd watch his context. So when I saw this interview with Richard and Meet Kevin, I was like, okay, cool. I so to speak trust at least the familiarity of Meet Kevin because I've seen some of his real estate content, and I was like, okay, cool. Some of this information is valuable, and I trusted that interaction. Where every other interview that Richard has done, I have no idea who the fucker is, either Richard or the other person.
A lot of the time, I don't either. Like, to be honest,
yeah.
Everyone, I mean, the internet's so vast now that like 40,000 subs is like a lot, but it's like a subgroup. You know what I mean? Like, it's always a subgroup, so like everyone's kind of milking each other's fans. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, none of these guys are like I see their faces on the algo. Like, to be honest, like if they popped it up, I'd probably remember the face, but no content watching. Zero.
Bro, we should come out with our own tea, our crypto in the morning tea.
And a kava tea for nighttime.
Yes.
You ever had a kava tea?
I've had a kava afternoon drink. Which is,
dude, I just started. I bought this really expensive, not super expensive for like the little amount, kava like tea blend thing, and I only use one bag, and it does make you feel, I don't want to say high because it's relaxed. You feel a little numb, just a little like totally buzzed, like ready to go to bed. And I do that like once or twice a week, just because if I'm bored, whatever.
It's great for relaxation. Kava right before bed. My buddy utilizes kava right before bed. I keep saying I'm gonna get some, and then I forget to get it. But
make sure you pick the right kind, because that's another couple.
It's like weed where there's multiple different.
Well, there's a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, it's correct.
There's a lot like this person has 80% of this, and then 20% of the kava extract. But really, you want to find the ones that have like the 100%, which are like you got to do a couple clicks because it's always the ICO. Just like throws the cheapest ones up front, and
it's like 20% cannabinoids versus like you go to the better stuff, and it's like 80 or 90 or 100%.
And they'll give you fucking scabies if you take the pills. So never take kava pills, guys. And that's just my opinion, obviously. Like you can do your own research, but it doesn't interact well with the skin in a pill form for some reason, and I've seen it all over the internet. So it's not just me, and that's not for everyone. But you get a skin rash, and it's just some stupid shit. But anyway, guys, me and Sam have so much coming up. Like, I think we're going to be so good partners coming up because we're both learning different, but the same things. He's more advanced in the business and real estate realm and all like that, the more like financial aspects. And I'm really like advanced in the social underground bullshit nuance. Like, what are people talking about? What's the public sentiment? So it's a really good place to meet in the middle when we have these conversations because, this can be clear as day to a lot of people, but I promise you, like me and Sam could have both been at the wrong timing. Totally. If somebody told me 5 to 10%, 5 to 15%, compounded every 8 hours, I'd have been like, oh, let me put at least something in there. And if it worked out for a month, probably all my money would be in there. Or
just a year ago, right before you were getting into hacks, and I was like, "Hey, bro, I'm starting out this coin here, and I see that you're starting a YouTube channel. What if I gave you, $1 million of these tokens? That's $50,000, and then you just promote the token for the next 6 months or whatever, right? Like a year and a half ago, that would have been far more appealing potentially, right? Because you weren't into you were into the integrity piece, but you just at a different point.
I had no idea what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I had when I say no idea, and this meme it's just a picture, but it'll show you perfectly what I'm talking about.
We'll get that updated firefighter.
Look at this. So we got this is Real Vision pointing at Coinflex, pointing at BlockFi, pointing at Compass. Voyager's pointing at both Compass and the 3AC Ethereum address, who took all its money out. and then Terra's already gotten smashed. Oh, dude, we forgot to even mention Terra.
We forgot to add also 3.
We literally went through the whole list, and Terra is old news already. How does this happen so fast in crypto?
Because Voyager happened in the last 24 hours. The realization one on there, the one that started with an R, I don't actually know.
Real Vision?
Yeah, that one I wasn't even sure of. 3AC, I believe, is the hedge fund, right? Isn't that the hedge fund?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the largest.
They're going bankrupt or something?
Well, it's hard to say because you don't know, like, when you have $46 million in an account that doesn't let you move your money, like, you'll get your shit shot up. For real, come on, 46 million, just dipping on it. You could pay a dude $1 million, he'd kill you for never knowing. You would never.
I have a article pulled. I know we can get into the Coinflex as well, but there's this article I have from Bloomberg. We can read through the whole thing, but maybe this is just a preview. But Crypto Brutal Week ends. This is, I think, as in the last 24 hours or something.
Yes.
This is yesterday, right? So this is last night.
Perfect.
Okay. So this came out, and this is in regards to Voyager suspends withdrawals while BlockFi gets FTX backing.
And in general, is Bloomberg in the middle for you as far as like you'll read them, but
I mean, they're yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, will you read them?
It's good.
Like,
you know how you understand
finance.yahoo.com and type in Voyager.
I would trust Bloom. I mean, these are mainstream things, so I don't trust them at all. But if you were to put them in a hierarchy, I would put the because when I look at these things, I don't necessarily have to believe what they have to say, but I have to understand how you know how you talk about the social nuance of
public sentiment. Yeah.
Right? So I have to understand how other people are going to perceive the trash that comes out of mainstream media, whether I believe it to be true, whether I believe it to be accurate or not. I have to understand how the broader world is going to perceive the narrative being put forth by Bloomberg. And Bloomberg has a better, yes.
Let's go through this. Voyager suspends withdrawals while BlockFi gets FTX backing. 3 Arrows Capital woes ripple across the beleaguered sector. Dumbass word. Never use that word again. The meltdown in cryptocurrency markets deepened this week. A major player contended with liquidations, withdrawal freezing, trading halts, and at least in one case, a bailout. Crypto broker Voyager Digital Ltd on Friday announced a suspension of trading deposits and withdrawals while BlockFi, a major digital asset lender, a major digital ass eating lender, won the backing of exchange FTX. So that basically means they got more collateralization.
Yes,
US
correct.
With the potential to be acquired. Both companies were upended by the woes of 3 Arrows Capital Ltd. For liquidations by a British Virgin Island court this week and filed for Chapter 15 bankruptcy protection in New York. Can you tell me a little bit about that last sentence so I can understand it a little more?
So let's see. I'm just going to read through this. 3 Arrows Capital Ltd., the beleaguered crypto hedge fund that was ordered for liquidation by the British Virgin Islands court this week, filed for Chapter 15 bankruptcy in New York. So I believe they were a very big crypto hedge fund that when there was a firm back in 1999, they were one of the largest hedge funds out there. Long-term capital management, I think it was. They've done many Harvard Business Reviews on them. When you take this big player that is doing, different high frequency trading or leverage things, or on the outskirts using derivative things that most of the market doesn't understand, and then this thing goes under, there's a giant ripple effect that goes through, and that looks like it's taking place, right? And 3 Arrows Capital is also what you pulled up in that cartoon of Spider-Man, where one of those was 3AC, right? That's what these guys are getting destroyed. I have mine on Coinbase. Hey,
what do you have on Coinbase? Answer me. Don't tell me the specific amount. Tell me how much. If you have a lot of your funds on Coinbase, you might not want. I'm not joking. This is not a joke. If you have a significant amount of coins on Coinbase, I suggest you take it off. Seriously, dude, I'm not fucking kidding. Like, you think this is a joke? This could be tomorrow morning. Me and Sam would laugh because if Coinbase said they're halting transactions, we would believe that to be true. But with no, even my heart wouldn't sink. I would not think another thing of it because that's what we're in right now. And you have to protect your shit. My shit's in USDC in my across my few wallets. That's it. Not that much in each, just like a split it kind of like between the three, but it's on decentralized wallets.
Yeah, BB, it's not safe there, bro. It is.
It's not safe because it's not your money, BB. It doesn't make sense sometimes that it's not your money, but someone else can just take it, and that's what we're reading right now to a degree. Let me address the chat real quick so we can just say hi and get the links out. Guys, I'm going to fix that link right after I'm done talking to the chat. One of the links down below they said wasn't working. GRC needs to start a boy band because only headed to one direction up. That's fact. RH Max. Dude, I saw a picture of RH Max. The dude's fucking ginormous. The dude, he's like guns. He's just like 6'5", like scared, just a large guy. Like I just wasn't expecting because you can only see your head. But he took a picture with Balliet Brand. He made Balliet Brand look like a little guy.
Nice.
But he's not fat at all. He's not. He's just like a fit guy. You know what I mean?
What up,
like, holy shit! Balliet Brand and his brother were out with Fashion Coder and RH Max and two other people that I can't remember at this moment. They all went out and got lunch or something, and it was a great picture. They were all out like chilling. It was good to see the Balliet Brand boys pumping out. Firefighter, Hex Bean, had a little kava till I heard now bad it fucks up your liver. That's only in doses that are large. So that, again, whenever you hear about something like this, they're always going to say it fucks up your liver because in large doses, everything fucks up your liver.
But they don't tell you is that if you take ibuprofen, if you take Advil, if you take Tylenol, that fucks up your shit.
And everyone knows that at this point. Like literally, like little kids know that shit, and they know that little scam already. Like when we were little, we didn't know that shit.
Correct.
We didn't know about IV. People would take 6. I knew people killed themselves with it if they ate a lot. Like you always heard that one story that someone ate the whole bottle or something, and I was like, oh, that's bad. But they don't tell you why it kills you. You know, they don't tell you like at what point does it kill you? When your liver fails. You know, like, so guys, just remember, everything in small doses is generally not going to affect your receptor activity downregulation that much. If it's in very small doses. Sam taught me that very young without even teaching me that.
You just said, hey, kava, I might use this a couple times a week. You're not saying you're using it every day. You're not saying you're using copious amounts of it. You're like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Because I had prior experience where it gave me a rash. So I knew in my head that my body was saying no. And then I just said, let me take a break for this for a few months. And then I got a tea. I learned a little more. There's more extract in this, less extract in that. And then I bought an expensive kind and I had a great experience. And that's kind of usually, you know, if you're someone who experiments at all, which, you know, a lot of people don't like, it's just you find out that it's all about dosage and frequency. It's just dosage and frequency for everything. But nobody tells you the good information because nobody really knows unless you do shit. You kind of learn. Like the first cycle that every bodybuilder tells to go on is 800 tests. And that would blow, dude, I would die if I took that. Like I don't know. Like literally that was like what they were telling kids to take. So guys, just remember when we're talking about that stuff, everything is a lie. Nobody tells you the truth. We're all going to hell.
A nice combo that I think for like sleep or something might be, we were talking about a tea, kava with Kenna. Kenna works like an SSRI, a natural SSRI with melatonin and potentially CBD, but that's on a tangent. We're going to finish.
Dude, one more tangent though. One more tangent for 1 second. This is a question to you. I think we should do an episode or a educational series. And I'm going to say this once. We don't go down this rabbit hole with me right now, but like on how for people to get off SSRIs as calmly as possible. Sam, I want to change the world, Sam. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to say all the shit I know about it because I don't want to get all into it, but I have a lot of insight on the front. You know, I was on all these sorts of drugs with the Zolofts and all, and I still am on to a degree on some of these drugs. And I want to know for me, as I become more independent, how I can trust myself and learn to negate some of these negative effects from from the downstream effects of all the medications I've been on and having such bad mental health as a youngster and not really understanding anything. If you know what I mean.
Yep. There did an awesome podcast episode. If you guys haven't catched it, Too Much Test Podcast and all your favorite podcast platforms, or on my YouTube channel. There's a link down below on GRC channel or on my channel. Hopefully it's working, or if not, we'll just correct it after this is over.
I'm going to fix that right now, guys. Can you just drop your whatever YouTube link you want in the private, and then I'll fix it?
So there's a we had an awesome episode with a gentleman, Josh, who has one of the largest stem cell clinics in the world in Mexico. Met him through the Hex community.
Mom and Dad, if you're watching this, please, we're not doing anything. He's just talking about research.
And he does stem cells in Mexico, owns several different clinics. And when talking about this, you can actually use stem cells to help with addictions and all sorts of crazy, cool stuff in different ways. I just dropped it into the chat here. You see, I'm supposed to GHC shoulders before I get IG.
Dude, you could eat me, bro. You could eat me, bro. What are you, like 230, like 6'4"? That's what I would guess. Tell me how close I was on that. I'm really good at guessing that. So this is your YouTube. Like, can you drop it in the private? Because I only have the stream.
Oh, yeah.
I only have the StreamYard up.
Yes.
So we're gonna get into the next thing, guys. We all know. What did we have here? Oh yeah, we were talking about Voyager. Oh yeah, let's continue to talk about Voyager.
I'll read through this when you update that thing. Yep. Meanwhile, so this is in regards, right? We've got the Three Arrows Capital, large hedge fund filing bankruptcy, right? Chapter 15 is different than 7 or 13 or 11. There's different types of bankruptcies. I don't know the distinction between them, but they are filing bankruptcy. Meanwhile, crypto markets slumped, adding to a decline that has wiped away nearly $2 trillion of market value and left market participants uneasy heading into the long 4th of July weekend. I don't know about you guys. I am not uneasy. I am stoked. I would like another 50% drop because then we know we're close to the bottom. I had begun, this is a quote, I had begun to think that dominoes had stopped falling in mid-June, said Aaron Brown, a crypto investor and Bloomberg opinion contributor. I suspect by Tuesday morning, there'll be more. Ooh, bro, this dude. So remember, this came out last night. This came out 15, 16 hours ago on Bloomberg. This dude who's a contributor and a investor in crypto they can contribute as an opinion writer. I suspect by Tuesday, this means after 4th of July, there will be more bad news, although I make no specific predictions. Much of the industry's recent liquidity issues stem from the troubles at Three Arrows. By the way, remember that hedge fund that I just mentioned a couple seconds ago? Long-term capital management? When they started to lose their shit back in 1999, 1998, 1999, it was like over the Sega over a period of time as they tried to unwind their positions. They actually got a bailout because they were so well connected with Goldman Sachs and people in the Fed that they were actually able to put together a bailout. I guarantee nothing bad happened to these fuckers. Anyways, Three Arrows, which suffered from the large losses after making bullish bets on everything from Bitcoin to Luna. Oh man. Part of the Taro ecosystem, whose implosion in May sparked a major market spasm. Founded in 2012 by Zhu Su and Kyle Davies, former Credit Suisse traders, Three Arrows has become emblematic of the industry's excesses during last year's bull run. No, it has not. That is just one player from Legacy.
Three Arrows has become emblematic of the industry's excess during the last year's bull run. What does this mean, emblematic?
Like if you think of Kleenex tissue, right? You know exactly what that means. Like Three Arrows is the poster child for what excess looks like in the crypto market, and then they're like the exuberance that is, you know how you say during bull runs people just buy all sorts of shit, right? Which is accurate, right?
Everything works in a bull run. Everything works in a bull run.
Yes, the fuller because everything's going up. What happens when the tide comes in? Do all the boats go up, or do some of the boats go up? Do the boats that are really, really shitty, crappy, disgusting boats go up? Yes, because the tide is increasing. That means all boats, even shitty crypto, will rise in a bull market because that's how it effing works.
Yes.
The fuller extent of this is got a little bit more on here. The fuller extent of this impact in the industry is starting to emerge. Blockchain.com and Deribit, a crypto derivatives exchange, this week confirmed that they are among the creditors that sought for liquidation of Three Arrows. A spokesperson with blockchain.com said it is also cooperating with ongoing investigations into activities by Three Arrows, which has been reprimanded, slap on the wrist, by Singapore Central Bank over false information. Crypto is a nascent industry, like to the beginning stages, but intense competition developed among service providers vying for the business of a small set of entirely new counterparties, said Alex, managing partner at CoinFund. It is a lot. It is very new industry, and we don't know who's going to win, right? There's probably going to be some type of consolidation, and a decentralized way of lending is going to be what's going to eventually win out. All these, centralized things are going to die eventually. In the crypto space, it feels like
it's just going to be back to the nuts and bolts, like the layer ones and the ones that stay up, and the things that are decentralized enough to continue to do 99% dips basically and come back.
What do you think about this? So Kyle Salmon, co-founder and managing partner at Multicoin Capital, said there is a need for appropriate regulations, transparency, and that an industry coalition should come together to protect retail customers. What do you think of that? I don't think that you are going to be protecting retail investors necessarily, because anytime that these regulations seem to come out, they say that they're to protect the little guy, but who does it actually protect? It ends up helping the person that is at the top, because what are the regulations going to do? They're going to do what they've done in traditional finance and force the little guy. Yeah, and not to be able to actually do anything.
It's almost like a regurgitated. You just know, like after you see it enough, it's like when people get over leveraged, they're going to want extra money, and when the market tanks, they have to undercut you, or they're going to lose all their value. It's like it's crazy, and it just happens. That's what centralized ownership is. It's just like we found that out, guys. That they did it on the feet. All they're doing is clicking on the computer now and pretending they're not clicking on the computer in the bank, because that's all everyone's doing. It's just a different interface, and it happens without a middleman. That is what you're hoping for. You're just anyone who hates crypto, you're just sucking middleman cock all day long. That's what you want. You're like, I want someone else to hold my money because because I don't want to be this or that or rich. People tell me all the time they don't want to be some rich guy. I'm like, okay, you're just a fucking idiot then. Okay, don't protect your family. Don't protect your situation. Don't protect your businesses. Go ahead, be a fucking retard. But like it's like something that, but basically what they're saying is I don't want to be an egomaniac. But like if everyone in the chat who thinks I'm an egomaniac, put a bicep in the chat. There are probably going to be a couple biceps, but the truth is I just want to do the most impactful thing with my life, and this is where it's at.
The guy in charge has a tweet from yesterday. So this is at 3:00. Actually, I'm going to pull up the tweet.
He should have not doxed himself,
Steven. And so I pulled up the tweet string right here, and then we'll get into the Coinflex next. Voyager today, we made the difficult decision to F you guys. Oh, that's not what it says. Today, we made the difficult decision to fuck over the little guy. No, that's not what it says. I keep reading this wrong, bro. Can you read this for me? I keep having a difficult time.
Voyager today, we made a difficult decision to temporarily make sure they could steal all your money while you had no access to it. That is the summary, guys. These guys are pieces of garbage. Pieces of garbage. And it's not because they're morally horrible people. It's because they did not give a rat's ass about everyone putting their money into their protocol. Imagine you have a business. Imagine you have a business. And it's just like this. You know what I mean? Everything's going to zero. Everyone's still throwing in money. It's going to be, at some point, you're going to have to cut the cord. And they're not in here. They're just going to, you'd think because they dox themselves again, you'd think people always say, oh, they dox themselves, Sam, it's fine. Their families are on the line. Nope, they come out with these funny little marketing tactics, hodl mode. You know the deal. It's just like, oh, it's not that bad. It's for the user. Dude, literally, my friends are calling me up and talking about, I'm like, you still got your Bitcoin or whatever? Like, I'll get to that. And they're like, no, I lost it all in that shit. And they don't even care. Like, they don't even know. Like, it's like they're so wrecked and it's such a bear market that they're just like, I hope it's not true. But I'm like, it's true. Like, I'm like, dude, I've been telling you all year long. And they're like, oh, but Hex is down. And I'm like, well, who's got the Hex? Me? Who's getting the yield? Me? That's the point.
And it's in your wallet, BB. It's in his wallet. It's not somewhere else.
Hey, I'm surprised these guys don't leave deposits on. That's what Hex. That's what's sick.
Yeah, I know. Hey, that is a good point, though.
No, seriously, but they kind of did with Celsius. If you remember, you could only
Yes,
collateralize your loans, add position to your loans from Celsius coin. You wouldn't even let you add USDC.
So give context. So I've got a loan. I've got a risky asset that I'm using as collateral. Risky meaning the volatility, right? And I borrow against this. Crypto market goes down, and Celsius is like, "Hey, Sam, your loan is looking like it's going to get liquidated, but you can't use your savings account capital.
You can't use your $1 million in USDCs to save your position, Sam.
You got to add in new capital to the system. So
you have to add in the most risky asset on the whole top 100 in the last fucking week of that thing, which went down like 700%. And it's just like, oh, you have to collateralize it with this really cheap asset now. And it's just like, wait, I have to do this? Like, people literally, BitBoy was like, what? Like, I have to use sell? Like, in that one, that might have just been a quick little write-in. I think the hodl mode was in the text. I think somebody told me the hodl mode was in the text somewhere. I never looked at it, though.
Yeah, the terms of service, I'm sure.
So I want to pull up something real quick to switch it up because, it's a lot of the same with this stuff, but I want you guys to know these faces so you can remember who not to follow. You can watch these guys' information and stuff, but just remember when they're showing you shit, just know it. If I'm shilling something like this, it's not because it's good. It's because they're giving me lots of money, and I wouldn't do that. But you know what I mean.
So wait. You want to pause this for a second and just give people a little bit of context?
So the context here is Coinflex basically went into hodl mode yesterday. So Coinflex has their own version of hodl mode, where basically they don't let you transact anymore. And this guy basically blames everything on Coinflex and nothing on himself as he shilled. We saw a tweet, me and Sam, before this, where he said he loved the structure of it. He was excited about the 5% compounding, blah, 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 blah. And that was a month ago, guys. So watch him. He says in this, Sam, somebody told him it was backed 1-to-1. Somebody told him. He said, somebody told me it was backed 1-to-1. And he said, Coinflex advertises that they're backed 1-to-1, which is not necessarily true when we go to the video on coinflex.com after this of the CEOs talking about the product from years ago. And their roadmap was to be at 1 trillion market cap by now. They missed it. So let's check this out.
Well, I'm promoting Coinflex and some of.
What's this muted now? We can't hear the dude talking.
Collateralized because it's advertised as fully collateralized on Coinflex.
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to rewind it a little bit. I don't know why it's not. It usually.
Yeah, you normally it plays when you mute. I don't know why.
On this channel and on some of my other YouTube channels as well. I'm promoting Coinflex and some of their yield earning products, most specifically Flex USD. In these advertisements, I say that Flex USD is fully collateralized because it's advertised as fully collateralized on Coinflex's platform, and I was also personally told that this was fully collateralized. For those of you that don't know what fully collateralized means, it means
he was personally somebody let him know.
Stablecoin, there are assets behind it that represent the value of that coin. Essentially, they represent giving value to that coin so that you can redeem the money at 1-to-1 with USDC. On June 23rd, Coinflex paused withdrawals. Basically, people could no longer withdraw their money. So even if you had Flex USD, you could redeem it for USDC, but you were unable to withdraw that money. I had to learn this from Twitter. I saw someone tweet that they paused withdrawals and people are forwarding this to me. I was not.
Guys, this is an ambassador of the product. This is an ambassador of the product. He probably has lots of funds in here. I'm not saying he doesn't have other funds, but I'm saying Twitter. He learned this from Twitter, not his buddies that paid him, not the guys from. And he just mentioned that. This is why he's leaving. And I'm not saying this is all his fault either. It's not necessarily all his fault, but as a crypto influencer, somebody who's pretending like they know what they're talking about, you have to protect people. It's not fair to be a movie star and then go on and tell everyone to smoke crack. It's not right. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like anything. And it's just, you're right. Like, I'm putting myself in this position, and it's responsibility involved in that, whether people like it or not. You could say I'm stupid, my channel's not big. There's guys that watch me that are 17, 18, 19 years old. And I'm going to teach them how to properly do this so they can have a beautiful, wonderful life, rather than fucking the opposite, working on a tower for fucking 10 years and being told that's the right way to do things. And I'm not saying that's the wrong way to do things, but you know what I mean? I want to have people open-minded. I want creativity to be able to storm this earth. So I think it's important that we give information that's proper. Me and Sam could go on some fucking crazy marketing campaign to be the most popular dudes in the world and never talk about anything legitimate, read any white papers, because that's what it takes to be sometimes the most popular guy in the world. You don't really read too many white papers. You know what I mean? They just like shill their shit, and we just want to punch a little different, a little harder. And this just explains how this guy did not do his research, and he blamed everyone else, guys. He blamed everyone else but himself.
And some of the, like, because you know how we talk about the adoption curve in crypto, and you know, that's increasing. A lot of this stuff is connected. I just saw on Twitter. So there's another one. It's a scam coin called OneCoin. I don't know a lot about it, but Giorgi was telling me about it before we came on the show. And we'll get back into this, and it's going to tie it all together.
Yep.
Coinflex, right? So the CEO of Coinflex, according to blockworks.co, the CEO says that Roger Ver is the counterparty whose outstanding debt forced the exchange to halt with
47 million. 47 million.
Who is this Roger?
Roger Ver is literally one of the first investors in Bitcoin.
And he is the person who scammed, I think you mentioned, $4 billion with this scam coin, OneCoin.
I don't know the origins of the OneCoin, but if you look at what Richard tweeted about it, there's a warrant out for the guys. This is, I'm not fucking kidding either.
Well, I have that pulled up. I'll show you.
You think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding? They're one of the top 10 most wanted people in the United States. Dude, I passed. No, I'm not even gonna say that shit today. But like, in the United States, there's sketchy people in the United States. Believe me that there are more than 10. And this dude, Ruja Ignatova, it's in the top 10, or FBI adds OneCoin founder to the most wanted list, guys. Most wanted list. That's jail forever list. That's like you're gonna die list.
That's the execution. Like, legally, if you look at governments, what are the governments allowed to do? They're allowed to print money, and which is going away with crypto, and they're allowed to have a monopoly on violence, right? The government's allowed to kill people and say it's okay. You are not allowed to. I am not allowed to kill people and say it's okay.
It's only because of power structure, guys. When there's no one to tell you what to do, when you're on 61st Street and in Compton or whatever, there's no cops, there's no rules. They can kill people, and that's the same thing. The government, there's no one to tell them what to do. There's no final judge. If there's someone with enough, and guys, I'm not saying that I know anything about anyone getting murdered. I don't know shit, but all I know is about power in the world and how things have gone from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. People get chopped if there's a power structure problem and they're about to chirp their lips. And if people steal $4 billion, God, I thought it was 400 million. I forgot it was 4 billion. Jesus Lord. That is 5% of the market cap of cryptocurrency. That's 5%. So let me read this real quick. This is great, guys, by the way.
This is a short little article. We'll just read through it. It's only a couple
I'll read it real quick. This is good, though, because I want you guys to know the magnitude of this. This is theft. This is really super illegal. Even from us degens, this is super illegal because it's not right. OneCoin founder Ruja Ignatova has earned a spot on the Federal Bureau of Investigation's 10 most wanted fugitive list of her role in allegedly defrauding investors of more than $4 billion US dollars. The Southern District of New York Federal Court will hold a press conference on Thursday the 11th. Ooh, Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Maybe, Sam?
Oh, that's interesting.
Should we cover it?
Hey, we could. This would be. We should add this. Let me add it to the list of.
Yeah, that would be sick. Maybe me and Sam, since that starts right when our show starts, we can do our spiel, and then they'll probably get into it by the time our spiel's over, and we can talk about the Southern District of New York's federal court with a press conference on Thursday the 11th at a.m. Eastern to announce the news. Ignatova was the leader of the public face of the OneCoin project. I love how they put her up front. Which she's kind of cute. Like, I mean, like for a crypto girl, like she looks like powerful. She looks like she wouldn't lie. Maybe she's a good face in the liberal world that we have now. No offense, of course. The one cryptocurrency could be mined. And okay, Ignatova was the leader, the public face of CryptoCoin, which was started in Bulgaria in 2014. Ignatova told investors the OneCoin cryptocurrency could be mined and had actual value. That's not very specific. In reality, OneCoin did not exist on a blockchain. Ignatova and her team manipulated and perceived value through an automatic generation of new coins. So basically, they were making new coins and just sending them out to people. And I don't know. Ignatova has suspected of being on the run.
Stupid.
She's been on the run since 17, bro. Where is she, bro? Dude, she's on the top 10 most wanted list. She's on the run. What kind of alpha does this girl have? She's got friends.
Let's get her on the show.
Yeah, we need to get her on the show. No face though. You don't have to show your face, Mrs. Ignatova. So she's been on the run since 2017. She disappeared from the public eye, and her brother Constantine took over her role as leader of OneCoin. In May 2019, a class action lawsuit was filed against Ignatova, OneCoin, and several other OneCoin executives. When they did not respond to the suit, a default judgment was awarded to the plaintiff. Earlier this year, Ignatova was added to the most wanted list. Is she even alive? Like, she also faces charges in India.
So she was added to the most wanted list in Europol. So that's the European, probably equivalent to FBI or something similar to that. And she's also wanted on charges in India, and was just added to the FBI's 10 most wanted list of people. Wow, bro. There's going to be, if we do see, which I kind of hope we do, 11K Bitcoin, right? That means when I say 11K Bitcoin, that's everything is going to see another maybe 50, 75% drop. So if we do see this drop in all coins, we are going to see pretty much all centralized lending platforms get effed up. We've talked about this. If you borrow against a risky asset, you are holding volatility risk. What do we know about crypto? Super effing volatile. So if you have something like this, right, and I borrow against my phone, but the phone holds value, then it's cool. I don't have any issues there. But if I have this thing and my phone is something that's super volatile, like crypto, then what I'm effectively doing is I take this as collateral and I borrow against this. And this will be leading in perfectly to what you're about to cover here. I borrow against my phone. But if the price of my phone is going fucking up and down like this, what happens is when it comes to those downswings, I'm up for liquidation. So it becomes an extremely more volatile environment. Oh man, if we see that 11K drop in Bitcoin, we're going to see all these centralized players get effed up, completely get effed up. Let's get into this, because I think this is a perfect segue into what we were just talking about.
So basically, this is a tweet from last year, guys. This is the most popular Bitcoin influencer. Plus, actually, these are pretty much two of the top five crypto Bitcoin influencers in the world. And I remember the day that BlockFi shill link got put on Anthony Papagliano's channel. He had under 20,000 subs at the time. And I was watching him. He was with his girlfriend. They had great content. They were talking about local current events. I knew it was a little stupid. Like, it was kind of like, it was a little broad for me. I like a little more dense stuff, but she was cute. It was a good show. They were being honest. And it was about Bitcoin in the future and adoption and all the great things that can happen from it. And he slowly turned into another cog in the fucking wheel of legacy finance. He just could not help himself. He was already in that industry beforehand. And Wendy's actually told me that fucking Pomp got wrecked in Ethereum, like early on, like, because Wendy's was around. And I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was basically like, he sold everything at the bottom and then got wrecked and like something like that. And that's when he started making content about Bitcoin, because he was like, fuck Ethereum, because it just went down on him. He lost his bag. So guys, I trust BlockFi more than I trust smart contracts, which by the way are neither smart nor contracts. I trust BlockFi more than I trust smart contracts. August 26, 2020, because we were in the bull market. They could say whatever they wanted.
Is this Peter McCormick guy the same person as the Pompliano guy?
No, they're just both Bitcoin influencers, and
okay.
But the Pompliano guy down here, he's a direct ambassador of BlockFi, and he's not necessarily, but he was just like saying something stupid at the time because we were in a bull market, and he probably had some of his money in there. Because in the bull market, these guys can say anything, and they're so detached. They don't even erase their messages. They don't even care. Like, these will be all over the internet, and they'll just become more popular, and then Bitcoin will go up again, and then the whole cycle will start over again. Because when Bitcoin goes from 10K to 100K, it seems like a lot, but everyone lost their money on the way down, and everyone that starts to buy forgets that, and they're new-ish, So it's just like a cycle of like everyone getting wrecked once because the front end UIs are so bad and like everything's horrible. It's just like, but oh shit, did I have my fucking?
You did. I just took it down.
Oh yeah, I wanted to pull up. So if you go to Coinflex, I don't know how much the people are going to want, but we can look at this for a second. So coinflex.com here, guys. Sam, you know more about for real. Yeah, let me talk to the chat for 1 second before we get into this. So Crypto Gains Club, Melv, Tony, Hexhound, Easy, all the Richard haters are getting wrecked. That's for sure, dude. At the end of this, there's going to be Richard, Vitalik, Polkadot, and hopefully Cardano survives. I say hopefully because I don't really necessarily like to see projects go to zero. Like, I don't think that's always necessary for. This is not. She's chilling with a full body makeover on an island. Motley's in here. Motley, the one. Hey, Motley, if you're at your desk and you want to talk about the one coin story to any length, because I heard that story was wild too. But again, I don't have any of the insight because I was probably not as much involved in. They said 2017 was when she went on the run. So that was
5 years ago. That was a long time in crypto.
She went on the run 5 years ago. She's clapped, bro.
Well, she's got a new name. Guarantee she's got a new name. She probably has plastic surgery at this point. Like, you know what I mean? You can get your finger, like, you can change a lot of shit.
Life is wild, bro. Roger Ver is the founder of Bitcoin Cash. That's right. So he has interviews with Richard, and they've all known each other since day one. But they're all like hush, 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 hush. Everything's hush, hush. Guys, I'm gonna drop the link. We got 79 in here. Great to see everyone. I'm glad you're at the gym, Motley. Biceps in the chat. Yes, guys, share this out. Let everyone know we're in here. We're in here live every single day, covering everything. We got Chad Inu coming on tomorrow. Chad Inu. Me and Sam don't know anything about Chad Inu, but we are the resident Chads around here. So we'll file a lawsuit if they don't come on the show and impress us. So
we also might have a potential lawsuit that we're covering on Thursday related to OneCoin. Live, potentially. We don't know. We never tried it, but we're open to trying that. Also, I have a video coming out later today on Helgo. Helgo, if you're interested in checking that out, it'll be on my crypto-related channel, not the fitness-related channel. If you want to check that out this afternoon.
And Helgo's not necessarily out yet, I don't think, but I'm not sure.
Correct. Not until Pulse launches, so it could be a year, right? Pulse might come out next year.
Give me 1 minute on that. If you had to explain it to me, I know not in a nice way, in the nicest way possible, what would be the cool potential, or like what are they going for? What is the market? What is it?
It is the way that I see it. It is you and I talking about PEDs and nuances around maybe say blood work or interactions between these different PEDs. Mm-hmm. And you and I having an inside joke around these. And the 79 people who are watching have no effing idea what we're talking about, nor any interest in what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. And that is Helgo, right? It is an inside joke. It is an inside joke. It is an inside joke that some people appear to find funny. It is very, 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 very very poorly written white paper. And there is just so many questions, right? But again, it's not coming out for a long time. If it does come out, and there's no sacrifice, right? So nobody's like putting money up on this, and that does have pieces that are like things that we like, right? There's no admin keys, so which means that it is immutable. It's not going to be changed. You're not sacrificing for it and that kind of thing, but not something that I will necessarily be putting any money into. But it is interesting to see the contrast between things like that, where you have something that is basically a fucking joke, like in how I perceive it, versus for how the site is structured or the clarity of what's going on, versus something that is VC backed, right? And I'm not a fan of VC backed shit. There's Chia, right, which is a platform for it's a block mining with hard drive space, right, to mine coin. But I'm looking through the site and I see this backed by Andrew Horowitz, and I'm like, damn, that's a VC.
And what does that signify to you?
Centralization, issues upon issues,
pump and
upon
dump.
issues.
He's saying he's saying the nice way of saying pump and dump. And I'm not saying anything about Chia. I don't know shit about Chia, but that's basically what he's saying. If a VC is involved, they're going to want their money out. And unless the project's really, really, really good and they can extract all their funds while the product market fit is strong enough where other people will buy it up, it's like the only way. So we're basically going to have to look it up to see is it that good? Like, is it that good? Because I've heard things about it that are amazing, but I don't know. I have no fucking clue. I've not looked into it.
And then we'll get into this the other part here. But if you look at something like the white paper of Chia, right? We both take a. I have it ready to read through, right? And you take a look at it
as well.
And it's long. It's 38 pages long.
So long. That's why I didn't read it, because I was like, I need a fucking hour and a half.
And the cool thing about those papers is that they're detailed. They're very detailed about where the money's going, how it's being used, all that kind of stuff. Now, something in contrast, like Helgo, no comparison whatsoever, right? Like, yes, I don't agree with the venture capitalist piece of Web3, but what does come as a valuable piece with venture-backed shit is detail and clarity on their white papers, so that it answers a lot of effing questions versus a very poorly written Word document that somebody created to a PDF, and then they think it's a personal joke and they put it on the internet and then they say it's a crypto kind of thing, right? In my personal opinion, full video will come out later. I'm not 100% negative on it because it's going to make sense to some fucking people who know the inside joke.
Yeah, maybe you never know. Like, maybe there's a couple 100 millionaires that love the inside joke. So guys,
100%.
When we're talking about crypto, we're talking about like our best guess at like if people would love, like in 5 years, are they going to be talking about the game theory of it? You know what I mean? Like, I have a feeling in a few years, people are going to think Hex was an amazing technology. And they were like, that was a really good idea at the time. And that's why I like it, because I literally think it's a good technology. And I don't think people done it yet right. And I think he was the first one to do it right. And what do we learn every single day? Being the first one to do it in crypto is very possible, because it all
so new.
Dude, we could be the ones who do something very right in crypto. It's wide open because no one's doing anything right. And when I say that, it's like nobody's done it right to the point where there's any bit of adoption to what they're doing. So don't give me that whole shit like, oh, these people are so fucking rich that they can just take over the world. Why haven't they? Why is their marketing so bad? Why have I never heard of this guy? Why does he have 5,000 followers? Like, or whatever, you know what I mean?
Why do they all have admin keys? Why is some of the stuff just not all structured in smart contracts? Why do there so many fucking issues with all this shit? Why isn't everything trustless? Because
why does the flow chart have 55 different avenues? Like, in how many different avenues can you suck funds out with a middleman or a percentage that I'm not going to read because there's 55 pages in the thing, and only the most nuanced crypto influencer would be able to, or crypto studier would be able to understand such a thing, and they might stay out of it. But the masses don't care. The masses want to put their money in centralized locations. That's what that's what they like to do.
And the advantage of things like the Chia thing or Celsius or Coinflex or BlockFi or Voyager is that when you have something that is venture backed in some capacity, what does that bring to the table? Well, you bring in outside money Cool. What does that allow you to do? Hire influencers. So the marketing effect of things like the Coinflex, BlockFi, Celsius, Voyager, this shit that we've been talking about, this trash, allows them to hire influencers to actually grow that brand, because the masses are going to look to these influencers and they're like, hey man, we'll give you 50 grand, right? We'll give you the XYZ. You know, GRC has gotten messages. I've gotten messages. Hey, you do this, we'll give you some coins, right? We've both gotten those types of messages. That's not what we're doing here. And if we're doing that,
because we wouldn't
we'll
even want
tell
to.
you. Yeah,
it would
correct.
hurt us. It would literally hurt us intellectually to do something we didn't want to do, because it would be like
No, 100%. Yes.
even on days where we're talking about something that I like don't think Sam will like so much. He never really cares, but I'm always like, oh man, because we like to get our juices flowing, and it's counterproductive for the future. It's counterproductive for business. It's counterproductive for reputation. And I'm just not about that. Like, I have one life to live. And a lot of these guys already lived a lot of their life, man. And they have kids and shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're not saying, I don't hate on these guys because it's their time. Like, I'm in a different time in my life. It's like when there's a war, like the younger guys go. You know what I mean?
You're right.
And I'm not saying younger as an age, because now it's like digital. So it's not like, oh, we're fighting because we're the healthiest of the group. It's like the entrepreneurial guys that don't have children. I'm just going to say it straight up. And some guys can pull it off with a bunch of kids, but it usually takes a little bit more cash. They're the guys that have enough oomph because they want it more, because they haven't gotten it yet. Kevin's probably making 400 grand every 2 months on random ass bullshit, shit coins.
He mentioned in an interview, because I used to watch stuff. So every once in a while, something comes up, like one of those short, like little clips on, somewhere where it's like 15 seconds. And he mentions that he's making around, this is probably 6 months ago or something, but he's making around 20 million a month, right? 20 million a month. That's $240 million a year.
I believe it by his demeanor on the screen. He's not excited to be there. That's okay. It's not illegal. He's not a freaking asshole. He doesn't care that much anymore. Just like Conor McGregor got paid $150 million and he never won a fight again. I'm just being honest. It's not the case for every human being in the world, but for the majority of human beings, you have to have a crazy, weird, creative incentive to like want to keep going when you don't really have to, especially if you have children. Because you want to spend time with your fucking kids.
So how do you, because that's something that you see a lot of people like let go of that ambition, that fire. They stop adding wood to their fire. Like, well, I think that for me because that's something that like I think about, or have thought about multiple times over the last couple of years, is that I need to always perpetually be adding to that fire that allows me to expand, create bigger goals, learn more, grow more, because as soon as you don't, you start to become complacent,
depressed.
Yeah.
Let's be serious. Me and Sam are both scared of one thing: depression. And not like you know what I mean? Like boredom would be the better word for it. Depression for me, I would say trouble. I get more depressed. He gets more like, I don't even know. He just starts spazzing out about something.
I get anxious.
Yeah.
I get anxious if I'm bored.
If
I'm sitting around, I need to be taking action. Otherwise I get anxious.
And my whole thing's like, if I don't have a goal, I'm just done. Like, I just need to fight for something, because it's basically like I went from this state of being like an adolescent, and then I like got sober, and I felt like I was kind of like fighting that whole time to kind of like get my shit back together. And then I had a job and like my normal kind of shit. Like I figured it all out to get normal again. And then I got bored and I got scared, and I was like, I don't want this to be it. You know, like I just, it had nothing to do with the work I was doing. It had nothing to do with the people I was talking to. It just had everything to do with it. I didn't have a goal anymore. I was just like, is this it? Did I figure it out? Like, I mean, I could scale this company. Like, that was basically my two options. It's like, scale this company as big as you can, but there's regions for that kind of stuff, so you can only scale so high. And or just fuck it, try something else, and just, but you know me, I want to kill that time. Like, I could study crypto for the next 3 years, or I could just quit my job and figure it all out in 9 months. You know what I mean? And that's what I just leveraged it, because I thought the curve of adoption would be greater financially, fiscally, just basically of the momentum of the tech for me to be in this position rather than that, if that makes sense. But let's go. Let's go to. Oh, dude, you want to pop this up, dude?
I did. I pulled this up because I saw somebody mention this in the chat over there. But you want to give some.
So,
context
guys,
before
this is
we play this?
NFL running back. I'm pretty sure this year he's second string NFL running back, and in second string in the NFL, you play like every game because you don't run the same dude every time. So he's basically like, I don't want to say a scat back, but he's more so like the speed guy on the Baltimore Ravens here, local to me. And I met up with him this week. So he DM'd me and he said, "Hey, I love your shit, blah, blah, blah." We had DM before because I think I was trying to connect with him at some point. And I said, let's get some food. So we went out, we got some food, we chatted it up. He's going to be coming on next week. We're doing a meeting to get him set up so he can have a good streaming setup so he can do some streams every once in a while. He's going to be on the show here. I handed him off the Shield Masters Pulse Chain GRC 50.
Was he already in?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's a Hexagon. So he's Pulse Chain, Hexagon, he's the whole thing. He's made go to his first video. He only has 2. So yeah, I gave him the Pulse Chain Shield, guys. GRC 50. Use the code if you want to buy one of those. They're really expensive, but if you want something for your streaming room, they're perfect to make it absolutely pop. So look, he says NFL player by day, multi-million crypto investor by night. And this guy knows his shit, man. I mean,
BTC Ethan Hex is what he wrote on the board.
Yep. Dude, he knows his shit, bro.
So let's play this. I'm gonna pause. Can you see this? Let me pause.
Yes, sir. I can.
Okay, let me go to the beginning and turn the sound on.
Yeah, Justice is a great dude. He's coming on next week. Listen up.
In the crypto space, man, you get some cool gifts for some cool people. Let's check it out. See what we got. In the crypto space, man, you get some cool
guys. Let's go. Follow him up, Sam. Come on now. You're not even logged in.
Oh yeah, I'm not logged in. Yeah.
So yeah, guys. This guy knows his stuff, dude. BTC Ethan Hex. Get used to hearing that. That's so true. Or Pulse P Hex. Everything, man. We're gonna get those doubles. So it's funny because we're gonna be connected to the largest network still because they're gonna be bridged over. And we have like this whole ecosystem attached to the best layer 1 that ever existed, which is like, Binance. How did Binance do? How did the BRC 20s do or whatever? Binance Smart Chain.
BNPs or whatever. The blockchain coins on BSC. Also, if you guys like the layer 1 called assuming it comes out, right? Pulse Chain. We did a video covering the testnet yesterday where you go from the start without even having the wallet connected to using the bridge and transferring assets on there. And it was perfect because I ran into issue after issue after issue after issue.
That was a good stream, by the way.
That was good. It wasn't smooth at all.
I got messages about that stream. I'm telling you, we don't get messages on every stream anymore just because we're on a lot. And so I can get a good gauge on what people like and don't like by who messages me afterwards. And people were like, dude, you helped me so much. Click through that. I felt like I wasn't an idiot. And I was like, dude, no, it's not. You're not an idiot. Like, I just want people to know, like, this has nothing to do with being an idiot. People like to make it seem like that for some reason, for like this intellectual, like, street cred that the nerds use. Yeah. It's like, that's why when we jump into space like this, it's just like, oh, we never had that street cred before anyway. Like, nobody cared. Like, in our industry, it's not a smart contest. You could be smart and that's cool, but like, it just never was that. So when we came to this space, it was never like, who's smarter than who? It's like, nope, you just got to learn and hustle. So what do you say? What do you got?
I was going to say, good job. It's down here if you guys care to check it out. But it's also, sometimes I like to do it where it's like off the cusp, right? Because if you and I do something and we go through it and we learn it, and then we make a video about it, it's super helpful and stuff. But the nuances of the roadblocks that you hit, you don't always recognize those the second or third or fourth time running through something. So this is literally the first time. GRC had already done it. I had not. So I went through it first time, and you get to see issues that like a brand new, like I've never done this before. brand new. How you're adding the coin to your wallet? Where do you go to the Etherscan Pulse chain or all of these pieces? So go check it out. I thought it was super valuable for people who are brand new. But let's get into this. Let's get into this thing here. This is Coinflex.
Yeah. So when I go to coinflex.com, guys, that was the guy that we watched that YouTube video of. He was the ambassador. What do I do when I go to a site like this after it's already crashed? Of course, we don't click on any of these because you can't send anything. So let's go to About Us. All right, let's see who these scumbags are. Founder. This is how I do my research, guys, for real. Like, I usually try to start around this page to see if their faces are available, and then I can kind of go from there. Just because it's good to know, like, if the people are actually online and available. That is something to research. So here, meet the minds of the Coinflex. Guys, you got to erase this shit before it goes to zero. Come on. Who's on the back end here, guys? Oh, wait, they lost all their money. Milestones, a brief timeline showing how Coinflex got to where we are today. Isn't this funny, guys? Well, fix this shit, guys. Anyone from Coinflex, if you have an uncle or aunt that works for Coinflex, you DM them and say, protect your career before it goes to zero. A brief timeline of showing how Coinflex got to zero. 2019, January, Coinflex is founded as the world's first physically delivered futures exchange. Sam, can you tell me what that actually means? Because I don't understand.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting that this type of stuff is actually coming out in crypto space. So,
yeah. And they mentioned that in the video, by the way, like they mentioned kind of like a little bit about that. I just wanted to know, like, if you knew that shit.
So if you look at like Investopedia, what is a futures market? So let me pull this up real quick so we can actually understand this just a little bit more nuance instead of me trying to slaughter it in a not very effective way.
You're good.
A futures market is an auction market in which participants buy and sell commodity and future contracts for delivery on specified future date. Futures are exchange-traded derivatives, contracts that lock in future delivery of a commodity or security at a set price. So effectively, you could buy a futures contract on, say, orange juice concentrate, right? So say if it's selling for... No, but literally they have...
No, I know. Yeah. I get it.
Like sheepskin and like weird shit, right?
Yeah, it's so weird. So weird.
And you can buy this. So we'll go into agreement and I will say something like, Sam will buy, 45 tons worth of sheepskin from GRC at the price of X, right? In 90 days or 180 days or something, where when I do that, I have to pay you, and then you actually have to deliver the sheepskin to me. So without actually looking into this, the Coinflex token or the Coinflex like platform, they probably had something similar to that where people could, buy a futures contract that actually had delivery of the underlying crypto at a future date. That would be my perception of what.
Lots of red flags here, though, in crypto world, just from like a more new perspective. Launches deliverable perpetual futures repo market. Like, I mean, Flex USD launches, Flex 2.0 white paper released, AMM launches. Like, how many things do we got going on here? Exchange daily volume breaks 2 billion with open daily volume breaks 2 billion. Open interest over 1 million. Total repo volume exceeds 115 billion. Total locked value. And it says here, January 2022, Flex market cap crossed 400 million. Total trading volume on Coinflex crosses $1 trillion, guys.
Well, so 1 trillion, right? You're like, oh my God, this thing actually has a much bigger market impact than we realize, right? Well, in the derivatives market, you know how you have brought this up a couple times about how market cap is determined, right? Like if I sell you 1 share of my trillion coins and I sell it to you for $50, right? Then I've got a $50 trillion fucking, coin, so to speak, even though I just sold you 1 token. Well, there's similar nuances to calculating nominal value, what they call it, when you trade derivatives, and depending on how you calculate it, you come up with these astronomically high amounts for trading. $1 trillion traded on Coinflex. But it's kind of like what happens with market cap. If I sell you one share of 1 trillion tokens for $50, I have a $50 trillion token. Right? It's not really exactly accurate.
Sam. Exactly. No liquidity, it's not one for one liquidity. That's the red flag I was getting from those big numbers. It's like clearly this isn't back 1 to 1. Like what?
But that's the entire crypto market, right? We're at $1 trillion.
Literally the whole market, and they're telling you it's backed 1 to 1. It's the entire market is $1 trillion,
and everybody in the entire
and that's not even fucking liquid.
Correct. And a lot of it's like lost.
It's like 5% liquid, probably, like overall. Like it's ridiculous. People don't know shit.
What is this thing here?
Let's go to Coinflex overview. So they introduce themselves here, and then they start talking about the product here.
First take is literally that the dude on the right is a very young man.
And the guy on the left just seems like he wants to die this whole entire time. So let's put that into literally, like he barely utters out of his lips. Why is it not playing? Oh, my bad. I got the tab muted.
Dope. This would be interesting because I actually don't know anything about this company other than a brief. There we go.
Hold on, let me back up a little bit. Just look how depressed the guy is before it gets going.
Can you turn the volume up by any chance?
Yeah.
Something about Coinflex. Wow, their sound quality sucks. Bose.
We launched in 2019, had a huge growth volume due to FlexCoin, our liquidity mining exchange token, and we really see the futures.
It's muted. We are having.
Give me 1 second, guys. I had to unplug my other computer because it was lagging. So give me one second real quick.
Yeah. Let me mute that. I'm gonna say hi to the chat real quick. We got Bob the guy in the house. What's up, Bob? And don't need any luck when I can afford to lose has gotten bigger. Yes. This is from Easy. I love the name. I stick to all Paul Pulsax Hedron all the way. Hey, brother, I just did a video on, forget what it's called, but it's the Iacocca token, basically, that's being launched alongside of Hedron. If you want to check that out on the channel, deep dive into that. It's actually going to be, trying to stimulate the borrowing feature of Hedron because it is not being used at all. If you look at the two ways that Hedron can be used, right? You can use it to borrow against your hex stakes, or you can use it to sell your shit on like OpenSea or something. Well, the amount of volume on OpenSea for NFTs from Hedron versus the amount of usage for borrowing Hedron is like, it's like 100 to 1, meaning there's 100 people who do the NFTs through Hedron to sell them on OpenSea versus one person who does the borrowing of Hedron against their hex stake, because it doesn't make effing sense. If you have $10,000 hex stake, and then I'm like, hey man, you got a $10,000 hex stake. If you stake that with me, you can borrow $7 against that and pay it back every 30 days. Does it make any sense to put your $10,000 at risk for $7? What the fuck is $7 going to do for you? So that makes perfect sense why Hedron borrowing is getting used. Well, this Iacocca token, Iacocca, I don't know what it's actually called, but
it's called Icosa, which is Hedron Icosa, which is like a 7-sided 3D image.
So that's going to be interesting to see when that comes out, how it's going to be utilized. If that token holds value, it could help. If that token is just trash and people just end up selling it,
I like it. I like it so far. First impression, I like it. I like it because people are learning about the proof of T-share value kind of situation, and that you can almost calculate it at a certain point. That's what kind of crypto sloth is always getting at. he's like, you can prove like per T share, there's only this much rate, and then they can kind of extrapolate the data and tell you when like that amount of bonus is going to be worth virtually nothing.
Well, what do you think though? Because so like if you do Hedron stake, and I was like, I have this new token I'm gonna come out. You want to get rid of your Hedron stake, and we understood yesterday, and we understand how if there's multiple steps involved, you lose 50% of the population. If there's 3 or 4 or 5 steps, you lose 90% of the people, because there's those steps that just people are not going to follow through on. So if somebody's like, I have a hex stake I have an HSI stake, but then I got to do this step to convert it to an NFT. Then I got to take the NFT to put it on OpenSea and list it on OpenSea. You just lose 75% of people right there. Or if you're like, you have an HSI stake and you can sell it to me at a discount, or just sell it to me and I will give you this, coin that I just made up. So that could be valuable. The only issue I see there is that if you have a $10,000 stake, you could go through the process, convert it to NFT, then list it on OpenSea, or you come over to me and I'll just print you this token here to buy this from you. Well, that could be valuable if it's a $10,000 stake and you get 7,000 of these tokens, and that 7,000 of these tokens equates to say $8,000. There's going to be people who do it. But
then the perpetual yield too on the ICOSA platform.
But you to stimulate the borrowing in Hedron, because the coin could be like it depends on like the right. Yeah, because it's got a curious adoption, or like get people
again. The reason that they airdrop them to the T-share holders is because they kind of are I don't want to say a elite subgroup, but they're people that can make their way around the internet. So everyone that has that coin is somebody that knows about smart contracts, at least enough to go on. I mean, there's a little percent of people that just fuck around and end up doing that shit, but most people usually it takes a while before they'll start staking. Therefore, the reason proof of T-share works so well, not just kind of well, is because although there's a calculation that you can do because it's based on an actual product that's immutable. There's also I had a great point, but I couldn't remember what the fuck I was saying.
Proof of T-shares as a concept to
and the subgroup of people, there are people that already know what they're doing. So the people that have the biggest incentive in there already have money and know what they're doing. Yes, everybody wants funds, but again, if you extrapolate the data over 2 years, those funds will be virtually worth nothing from the airdrop at that point for like the percent, there'll be so many less people getting the airdrop, blah, 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 blah. So many more people buying the token, blah, 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 blah. At that point, technically, I guess you could say. So it's just interesting place to drop the coins. And that's why if I ever did something, I would want it to be, I might want it to be like a proof of T-share kind of situation, because I like the way it works, especially if you did it in a bull market. It'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, if we could get this set up, if we could figure out how to launch a very valuable that provided utility, whether it was related to the fitness side of things, whether it was related to a stable coin,
heart health, you never know.
Yes, there's creative ways.
Imagine if you could incentivize people to get their heart checked.
Hey, you just bought an NFT that incentivizes or allows you to learn and educate about this kind of stuff. Did you start that process of playing with this Pokegon?
You can't play it yet.
Oh, I thought it was coming out in the first.
No, the mint phase, they extended the mint phase 2 days, so the mint phase is over today. So I'm trying, guys, anyone in the chat, that if you can actually play that Pokegon game, am I wrong about that? Because I've tried like 10 times and I'm pretty darn sure you can't play it yet. I can't go into the building. Every time I talk to the guy, I have my MetaMask set up, my OpenSea's attached to it with the NFT in there, and I cannot do it. And I moved it all to my streaming computer so I could stream it, because I don't really care about the value on one of them as much. So I just wanted to do it on this computer. And let me know. Yeah, it's not live yet. Yeah, let's just make it sure, guys. That actually makes me happy, because I would have gone on that another time, thought I was doing something wrong. Again, guys, I don't want to put any faith in anyone that this project's going to be somewhat profitable in any way, shape, or form. I have no flipping clue. I mean, Motley can pretty much make the market now. So that'll be interesting though, because of
the learning, even if the NFT doesn't do much, the value you can extract from it as a human in terms of the education and learning and potentially being a part of a community and building new people, relationships with actual humans to create a network. The education and the human piece of it could be way more valuable than a 10x on a $60 NFT, right? Or something like that.
We kind of went through a lot of the same stuff with guys. A lot of the centralized stuff is kind of like us regurgitating information. And somebody just put something in my mind that I actually wanted to catch a beat on everyone's in the community about the Pulse Chain Academy thingy, Sam.
Oh, tomorrow. You want to cover that tomorrow?
Well, I just want to pull it up at least and just because there's maybe just read a little bit of the front and then give everyone a little preview because I kind of want to know what it is. Yeah.
Okay, I just shared it. So
depending on how this project is, guys, we might be covering 1 or 2 projects tomorrow, depending on how dense this one is. So use case 1, use case 2. Let me read these real quick. Pulse Academy provides free educational information and job skill training and will give free crypto to users engaging with lessons and creating content for others to enjoy. Lessons unlock scholarships, jobs, and internship applications and provide a verifiable NFT record of the user's education and training achievements. Hey, guys, I was just talking about this with Pokegon. Why was I so excited about it? Because once I complete the whole thing, it's kind of like bragging rights. Not really, but like it's cool to have like 7 NFTs. And then the people know like he did that whole game. And let's say that game's really effing hard to the point where like not a lot of people can finish it. That could be a little brag to some people in the Web3 world to at least let them know that you know what you're doing a little bit, which is cool.
What if the thing that it appears from this one fucking paragraph, this Pulse Academy might be doing, and Pokegon might be doing? What if instead of you applying for a job, for those of you who do that, right? Instead of asking for where you went to school or this just piece of paper that says you paid thousands
this
and
is
thousands
the future,
of dollars,
dude.
what if it's this? What if it's like, hey, did you go through this Pulse Academy and do these courses that are verifiable on the blockchain? Let's get into case number 2 here.
It's pretty crazy, guys. All of our education is going to turn to tokenized NFTs to show and prove in a decentralized way that you actually did the work.
Crazy, right? Crazy.
You can no longer do that in real world. Everyone cheats on everything now. You could cheat with an earbud. You could cheat with a fucking beanie on. You could cheat with anything. It's stupid. Pulse Chain Academy provides value to traditional businesses by allowing them to receive a tax write-off for donating to support educational material. Companies may sponsor any content which they feel aligns with their respective hiring and advertising goals. Pulse Academy operates as a 501c organization and is publicly listed. Sam, can you tell us a little bit about what that means?
The 501c is basically just a nonprofit. So 501c is a section of legislation. So that's what it relates to. If you've ever heard of in the real estate realm, 1031. So 1031 relates to a specific piece of the tax legislation, right? Tax code, it allows you to transfer from one asset to another asset. 501c is basically a nonprofit organization. So it's part of like federal law here that allows people to do that. And is publicly listed. Oh, wow, this is interesting. Operates as a 501c and is publicly listed. Where is this publicly listed? I don't know. That might be kind of interesting.
Guys, if anyone knows the founders, hit them up right now.
I got them in my Twitter, so I will message them right now.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. We already were talking to those guys. Never mind, guys. We probably can handle that. Don't spam them. And real quick, guys, below that tweet with my boy Justice Hill, retweet that. Give the boy some love. He's spreading Pulse Chain and NFL awareness, guys. That retweet could be worth a lot if it's seen by the right person. A couple of these NFL guys, they can make a big advertising difference. We're punching through to them. I said, which NFL guys can you get on the stream? Let's talk. That's all I'm saying, guys. I'm trying to break through. I'm trying to punch through. We got UFC guys that I'm talking to too. Maybe they're new UFC guys, but they're 3 wins away from being in a title fight. I'm up in their DMs. Okay. if you build connections with everyone, you can make a lot happen, and it's in a fun way that's productive to everyone. That's why I like the show, because people think it's fun to come on sometimes and either show their stuff or just get a little relaxation time. Pulse Academy, use case 3. Pulse Academy connects organizations with motivated and intelligent individuals who prove their commitment to learning critical skills and completing curated courses designed to advance their careers and knowledge. This lowers organization onboarding costs and provides more reliable and competent workforce. This is something that I could get behind if it's legit. Because what am I all about, Sam? Like, I did not do traditional education. I had to learn everything from YouTube and from the internet search bar. And so this resonates with me, someone who's already doing this in an unorganized way, because I just have to click all over the fucking universe. Now they're like, hey, somebody who's willing to actually put in school amount of effort, which I am, to learn critical skills. I agree that these are critical skills. Critical. These are fucking critical, dude. And the people that are involved with this can advertise and pay their way to having more spotlight or more people or more advertising in their specific arena. Obviously, there's some, you can't just throw money to do whatever you want, hopefully. But that's interesting. All features, learn to earn. Love that. Learn to earn, success tracking, teach to earn. Wow. Sponsors, holder benefits, player bonuses, employment opportunities, career path mode, the good work fund, quality driven success, scholarships, and token burning, revenue splits.
Oh, wow.
What does that mean? What does all that mean? Revenue splits.
I have their white paper printed out, and I will be reading through this and doing a video on it tomorrow. So if you guys, and then I just messaged the founder on Twitter. So if they get back to me,
this could be a tomorrow situation, guys. We might have the founder. Oh no, Chad Enu's tomorrow.
So it could be Tuesday or Wednesday then,
or Monday,
or yeah. I forget. I keep thinking today is Sunday. Yes.
So guys, remember,
we covered a lot of great stuff today.
Yeah, we covered a lot today, guys. Remember, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We got both of us. We're here every single day. All our links are below. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter constantly. We're Twitter fiends now. And we have Telegram groups, Jim Rat Crypto Telegram group, everything, guys. We're going to be doing content every single day. I'm doing 2 live streams every once in a while, just if I get someone on that has no timing in the morning. So just be pumping that like button, pump that subscribe button. I'm going to drop a donation link below, guys. If you want to donate to the channel, I would highly appreciate that. But I love all of you equally.
And there's also Instagram. I don't know if you mentioned that. Link is down below. We're going to wrap this up with some DeFi proof for
young folks. You dripping on them motherfucker.
With your heart. With your heart.
Bought my hex from the fucking start. .1 every day we mark. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Checking my MetaMask moving. Look at the hex, he is mooning. Looking at wives they be choosing. Peter is why they be losing. Pro chains out, now get me a check. He's gas up and it got me a mess. Remember the times he died collect. Hex I been eating, I'm dying in the best. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart.